And there's Melinda. Good. Yeah, Kathleen was supposed to maybe be back this week too. She's missing out. Let us begin in a comfortable seat. Put a little cushion under your hips, under your sit bones, a cushion or a block, or maybe a couple of blankets. Good evening, and just kind of take a few minutes to settle into your breath. Welcome yourself again to this your space that you set aside in your own abode for the practice of yoga. Your space, kitty space. So, comfortable seat. A few big deep breaths to begin. And maybe start this evening by breathing in the 4-part breath, where the inhale is a part. That slight retention or pause at the top of inhale is a part, or part 2, and then the exhale is part 3, and then the pause there, the suppression, is part 4. 4-part breathing as a way to stay present and guide awareness. Take another 5 breaths like that. Just follow that very natural cycle, 4-part breath. Couple more breaths, 2 more breaths here. Your eyes can come open, and then with your next breath in, let's take both arms overhead. As you exhale, rotate to the left, bring the right hand to left knee. Inhale, both arms come up. Exhale, rotate to the right, left hand, right knee. So just like that, and at your own pace. Follow a pace that feels natural for you. If this is too slow, you can go a little quicker, more quickly. If this seems like too fast, of course you can slow down. Notice your 4-part breath here as you're moving in and out of rotation. Extended arms. Okay, let's inhale, bring both arms up. And on the exhale, side bend to the left. Left hand to the floor, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale. One more time to each side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale. Okay, and let's come from there onto your back. Briefly onto your back, maybe 10 minutes mobilizing the joints, more gently mobilizing the joints, letting gravity help in that regard. So let's start with the feet on the floor behind your hips. And then when you breathe in and come into bridge pose, take your left arm up and over your head to the floor behind you. Leave it there, spine to the floor, hips to the floor. Exhaling, come down, inhale, come back up. Everything comes back down. Right arm. And leave it there, exhale, come down. Come back into bridge pose. And then the arm comes back down as your spine and hips come back down. Left arm. Leave the arm. Inhale, bridge pose. Exhale, come out of bridge pose. Right arm. Leave the arm. Bridge pose. And just again, you're moving at your own pace. You can follow my pace, move a little more at your own pace. And one more time, each arm. Everything back down, exhale, everything back down. Extend both legs, just push out through both heels. Take a breath or two here, pause in Shavasana. Good, and then let's bring up the right foot to stand on the floor from here. You're gonna just push the foot to help turn your hips. The right arm, we're just gonna slide down a little bit, just gonna let happen what happens in your upper back, right shoulder, right arm, and then come back onto your back. Inhale, push the foot, cross the knee over the midline, roll your hips to the left, arch in the right lower back, come back onto your back, do 3 more.
eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
And not an eyelid open.
Oh. Switch legs, switch sides when you're
Now
ready to go.
open.
Along with your right leg. Oh my goodness. Brought me a flowery plant. Same thing. Left foot stands, left knee crosses over, push the left foot. Let the left arm slide down, come back onto your back 4 more times. Last one. And then both legs extend. Again, push out through both heels. Just relax and rest through the fronts of your hips. Relax and release the arms. Good. Bring your feet up to stand and then bring your knees into your chest for a breath or two. You want to lift your head. So wrap arms around shins, lift your nose towards your knees. Let's get nice and long and open in the back spine. Dorsal spine, knees to chest. And let's go wide with the arms. So palms facing the floor, and you can keep your knees close to you and your feet close to the backs of your hips. And turn your hips to the right. So drop in like you were going to do recline twist. Just hover there on the inhale and then exhale, come back onto your back. And then inhale, go to the left. Exhale, come back onto your back. Side to side like that. You just notice if the weight of your head wants to just dip a little bit in the opposite direction from where you are dropping your knees. Inhale to rotate, exhale to draw back to center. So just keep going, and then from here, if you want to start just unfolding a little bit, either at the hips or at the knees or both. The more you go away from your torso with your legs, just feel a little bit more of the work in the abdomen on the exhale to bring you back to center. Really use your belly. And as you go out to the side, what's keeping your legs from falling? If you go out straight with your legs, a lot of holding on in your middle, come back to center. I don't have room over here on the left, but let's do one more to each side. And back to your back, extend both legs and take a breath and pause in the breath. Yeah, so come to bridge pose. So just put your feet behind your hips and lift the hips.
Huh?
Get you a minute.
I'm doing yoga. I just got into some honey.
Oh, did you? I'm gonna take your shoes off.
Wait, do I really? To take your shoes off?
Bridge pose 5 breaths, bridge pose, and then come down and bring your knees into your chest. Knees to chest. Hug your knees into your chest. So you rock yourself from side to side. Cross your back, knees in circles. Okay, then drop your feet to the floor, come over onto your side. Push yourself up from your side. Come onto all fours, not anymore.
Dog
Nappy time is over. Come off your back onto your all fours, hands and knees. Cow pose. Cat pose.
Down on your cat.
Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. 3 more breaths like that. If you want to move into your sides, feel free to move into a side bending in the rib cage, around to the other side, or push back more toward child's pose. 2 more breaths. Inhale all fours. Exhale cat back. From all fours. Peanut gallery over here. Left leg back, left ball of your foot back, push into the heel. So really lift through the calves, lift the back of your knee, and then push a little bit forward. And then go back into the heel. And then come a little bit forward, roll over the ball of your foot to the tips of your toes. And then bring your left knee back in, take your right foot back. A little kind of dynamic foot extension, the muscles in the bottom of your foot, stretch your plantar fascia. Ivy's just gonna go straight to Shavasana nap time. One more. Shh, you can't make any noise. Okay. Okay, from here, turn your toes under, all 10 toes. Lift your knees, hover there for a second. Just hover there for a second. Knees close to the floor. Downward facing dog. Come forward and hover your knees. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Are you leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
This is boring.
Yeah, I thought so. 3 more times. Inhale, knees drop. Exhale back. Knees hover 2 more times. See how long you can stay. See how long you can hover. A lot of heat in your quadriceps. Release to downward facing dog and take 2 more breaths here. Good. And then shift forward to your knees. And if this is available, manageable, doable, let's try a little bit of a quad stretch after that. So you're going to come back into either your fingertips or your palms or your fists, or you could put your blocks back here. And then you're going to lean back and then bring your hips forward and lift up like bridge pose, like you were doing a bridge pose. And just come until you feel just a little lengthening. It should be very mild extension on the tops of your thighs unless they're super tight. 1 more breath. Lower your hips and come forward and come out. Okay. Let's come back onto all fours. Curl toes under, lift into downward facing dog. Take your left leg up into the air, extend, reach, inhale, Exhale, shift forward like high push-up position, but bring your knee toward your chest, kind of round in your back. And then push back. Up, extend left leg, come forward, round, knee to nose, knee to chest, knee to chin. 3 more. Or as many as you can, of course. Rest, come down when you need to come down. Good, and then just replace. Left foot to the floor, downward facing dog, drop your knees wide. Right, you could just go right back into child's pose. Or, right, as always, optionally, you could just sit. On your feet. We need to go into the wrist here a little bit. I'm finding this super wrist relieving. Little infinity wave with your hands clasped. Right, and so we'll just go back up one more time and switch the leg and do 5 breaths, shifting extended leg or tail of the dog into a high push-up position. Right leg extends. Inhaling, exhale. At your own pace. Two more. So bring the navel in, do a little bit of an abdominal lift. And then set your right foot back on the floor. Full downward facing dog. Walk forward. Heels under your hips. Uttanasana, turn your hands back. Roll up through your spine to come up. If that is an okay thing to do for your back, you can always just come hands to hips and just lift through the whole back to come up. Inhale, take your arms over your head. Exhale, reach as far back as you can. Right, what is that called? Butterfly stroke. If you were in a pool on your back, or both arms up, reach as far back as you can, big circles, both arms. Go the other way, reach back. Three more. Good. Okay. And then, Kitty found the blankets that got left out. Let's take ankle to knee. So chair, wall, right, have support where you need support. Ankle to knee. Let's go back with the hips. My hands together at my heart. I could have my hands on my knee and my foot or my hips, and just keep going until you feel like you're doing pigeon pose. Back into the hips. Elbows to ankle and knee, if you can go there. And then can you reach your fingertips to the floor? And then drop your head, drop the weight of your head, and then just stand a little more extended in your standing knee. Three more breaths here, hold. You might play with just getting light under your fingers, trying to stand a little more, just all in the foot. standing balance and a forward bend. Feel that ankle working strong. Good. And then just slowly rise up. Just take a breath, take a full inhale to come up. Yeah, cross. Wiggle out through your feet and your legs. Take a breath. Let me just set these little chacos outside the door. She leaves before I'm done. And then second side. So it's variously like referred to as a prep for eagle pose, this pose, or it's like a standing pigeon pose. And then you forward fold over. Okay, so switch, ankle to knee. Start to fold back. So you're folding at the ankle, you're folding at the knee, you're folding at the hip. Spine long, hips back. Take about 5 breaths to get there. And then hold there. Maybe 3 breaths to get there. Hold for a few. Drop your fingertips. Hold the balance. Drop your fingertips. Drop the weight of your head. Go a little more extended in that standing knee. You might feel a little more deepening of the stretch in the outer hip of that crossed over leg. Take a few more breaths here. Stand just in your foot. Can you get your fingers off the floor? What does that do to the work of the standing leg? In the hip and the thigh? And then take an inhale to come all the way up. And gracefully dismount. Tadasana. Feel both feet spread wide on the floor. Okay, let's go wide. Got your right foot. Turn back your left heel. Let's find a nice, comfortably wide stance for warrior 2, where you feel stable in the soles of your feet. And then when you bend your front knee and you drop the hips, you feel balanced, left hip, right hip, back hip, front hip, some weight in your legs and some sensation of stretch in the legs. Just come bend the knee, anchor the back foot, right, like tethered to the floor, back foot. And then back arm. And kind of drag the back arm like somebody's not really letting you come forward, but then come forward anyway. A little resistance there, and just keep that. Take the other arm. Back foot anchored, back arm anchored somewhat. Create a little tethering. Okay, and then come down one more time and hold. Maintain that sensation of kind of being pulled back, but keep reaching forward. Let that be the tension. Two more breaths on this side. Yeah, we're all the way up. Yeah, give the shoulders a little roll or a little bit of a squeeze with your hands as we pivot around. wide stance, and now just anchor through the back leg. As you bend your front knee, create some resistance. And imagine the action that's bending your front knee is that you're trying to get your heel bone to your sit bone on this side. Left heel bone to come to right sit bone. Squeeze, and then just feel a little more squeeze that way. And keep this back leg anchored, and then the back arm anchored, turn the rib cage. Keep reaching back even as you bend your knee and come forward. Give that one more, extend the other arm. And then hold. And release. Come around with your left toes. You can stay this wide if you're comfortable here, or come in a little closer if you like. That feels more stable, more secure, and then fold. Let's take a couple of more breaths here. So you inhale, you push your hands to the floor, and lift up a bit, and then exhale, elbows full, drop the weight of your head, drop the spine. One more breath. Okay, in with your left toe slightly. Walk your hands around to your right foot. Turn out the right foot. Make your legs like triangle pose, and then put your right hand up onto right shin. And then find your arms and find the rotated rib cage. Find triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana. Ooh, my shoulders are sore. I really feel what it feels like to reach straight up through that left arm. Open the collarbone, left collarbone, front of the left shoulder, drop back. You feel a little squeeze, maybe the back of the deltoid, top of the deltoid, big cap that is the top of your shoulder. Good. Exhale, take an exhale, lower the top arm out over your ear. Right, so now your arms are doing this right angle L shape, more or less. Long left side, pull back into your left hip and create some length on the left side waist. And let that left hand come down, let your right hand let go. Walk your hands around to the middle. Pause in the middle, readjust your feet. Pause in the middle, pause and fold. And then second side, turn back right heel, turn out left foot, 90-degree turn, and then bring left hand up onto shin, right arm up in here. Slide the left hand toward the ankle if that feels like where you should be, where you can still breathe, where you can still rotate your chest, where you can still reach up through right arm, even drop it back just a little bit. You look down, feel longer, kind of stretch along the side of your neck. Take a breath in here, and then on the exhale, extend the arm over the ear. Bring that arm in line with your spine, in line with the ground. Right waist, right side rib cage, side of right hip. Exhale, let everything come down. Right fingertips to floor, walk, left hand, right hand back to the middle, turning your left toes. Find stable feet and legs again. Take a breath or two in the fold. One more breath. Good. And reach your hands out in front of you a little bit off your mat. And then just heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe your feet back in so that they come under your hips. And then bring your hands to your hips. Lift through your upper back to come up. Mountain pose, take a breath. Tadasana. Nice. So come to the top of your mat. Let's take a breath in and reach the arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Half forward fold, inhale. Take left foot back, lunge pose. I'm trying to switch it up. I'm trying not to start always on the left side. So left foot back, right foot, right leg forward, lunge pose. Hold the right hip steady, hold the right knee and ankle steady. Reach back through your left heel, take another breath or two. Lower the arms, bring right hand to right knee, bring left fingertips or hand to the floor, scoot the left toes back and drop the left knee down. And then take a little rotation here. I'm going to turn the toes back, bring the fingers to face inside toward the inside of the right thigh. Palm to the floor, palm to a block, and then just do a little twist. You might feel more hip extension in the right hip. So if you need to lessen the intensity of that, just bring the hips up and back a little bit. One more breath. Yeah, and then shift hips back. Bring your hand inside of that foot so you could just heel toe that foot back. You're in all fours, high push-up position. Inhale, exhale down. Inhale, low back bend. Exhale. Push the floor to come up. Do a push-up, feel your shoulders do a push-up, and then now we're facing dog. Inhale, come forward, top of the mat, half forward fold. And then step back, right foot. Lunge pose. Anjaneyasana. Take one more breath. Left hand, left knee, reach right palm to the floor. Wiggle back your right toes. Drop right knee down, turn the toes back. Bring the left fingertips to face inward and then push the right hand and turn. Knee down, lunge, spinal twist, revolved, knee down, lunge. Back off a little bit if you need to. Exhale, push back, hips back, both hands to the floor. Take your left foot back. You can come to the full high push-up position, or you can be knees down, shoulders forward, knees down, take a breath in, Exhale, come down. Inhale, can you push back up from there? Exhale, come down, do a few. Use your breath to power yourself up. Exhale to lower. We do 2 more. Give your breath a little head start. Come all the way down. Arms alongside you, turn one cheek to the floor. And you broaden your upper back. So let your chest concave, let your shoulders fall, let your upper back be very broad. Good. So then let's stay low. If you feel that for your lower back, you could stay low where you just have your forehead resting on your left arm. And then you're going to bend your right knee, reach back with your right hand and grab your foot or your ankle or your shin and just pull heel to hip. And then try to resist a little bit. Try to point your knee more down. Try to push the top of your thigh to the floor, but let it be gentle. At the same time, you're doing the opposite thing by trying to pull heel to hip. Create a little tension and resistance in the quadricep extension. Just relax that, let that go. Switch. Take 5 breaths. Create some resistance. Good, and then let that go. And then bring your toes under. So curl the toes under, bring your feet onto your mat if your feet have gone off your mat a little bit, so you have that. So you have the sticky mat underneath the balls of your feet. Turn your toes under, push into the balls of your feet, back into your heels. You lift your knees, lift your shins, lift your thighs a little bit. And then you get up on your elbows, elbows underneath your shoulders, just this much. Drag your elbows towards your rib cage. Firm up your buttocks, so firm up your hips, really flex into the upper back. It's kind of a deeper back bend just relative to what we normally work here when we stay really low to the floor. So if this is not comfortable, just come forward. Try to get the shoulder blades to draw in and down. And then we're going to just let all of that go. Bring your palms under you to press yourself up. Come to a comfortable seat. An easy pose seat. An easy pose seat is typically like your shins deeply crossed, right? So your knees are more out in front of you rather than out kind of here wide. And then from there, can you forward fold? Just bring yourself out over the fronts of your legs. 2 more breaths here. Head below heart. Walk your hands back up. A deep bow over your crossed legs, Yoga Mudrasana in Sukhasana. Switch the cross. And of course, like, bolster up, blanket up, putting some support under your knees if your knees feel a little tender or sensitive or anything at all. Bolster up where you have a prop to support you. And then just pull knees toward you, long spine, fold. Your hands out, arms long. And let go, walk your hands back up. So there's your kind of pigeon pose, stretch for your outer hips. Your outer hips we're working. Let's see if you can take your legs out long. Your little onto your back, down onto your back, and then let's take right leg over left leg. So deep cross of right thigh over left thigh. And let's add the arms, right? So this is eagle pose, essentially. The shape of eagle pose on your back. And take the same cross of right elbow over left elbow. And this just kind of facilitates a little contralateral, like a different, your upper body going one way when your knees drop to the right, right? So let knees fall to the right. Just let the weight of your arms, just rest your arms on your head, on your forehead. And just feel that little counter twist back to the left as your knees fall to the right. Come back onto your back. At your own pace. Slowly at your own pace. So your arms don't really have to do anything much at all. We're just kind of rest the hands against your head. Two more. Let the arms go, uncross, extend both legs, pause in the breath, take a breath or two here. So we're going to come up, put the feet on the floor again, cross left leg over right leg, left arm over right arm. Rest the hands against your forehead and then drop your knees to the left. At your own pace, 5 times. You can hold, you can just sort of hang out, linger in the twist if that feels right. It might feel a little yin, it might feel like a little stress around that outer hip. It doesn't feel painful or like strain. Just feel free to just let the stretch happen. We're gonna let all of that go and we're gonna come into Supta Baddha Konasana. We're gonna hold that for a few breaths. Right, so you could prop this up a little bit if you have props handy. If you have your 2 blocks, if you have 2 blocks, you can stack those blocks, one each underneath your outer knees or your outer thighs, and lie flat on your back. You want support behind your head, by all means, grab a little support for the back of your head. If you don't necessarily want or need support behind your head, take your arms overhead, grab opposite forearms or elbows. Right, soles of your feet together, knees wide. Your arms can be out beside you, or your arms can be overhead, resting over your head on the floor of your head with elbows bent, loosely holding onto elbows or forearms. And breathe and notice the subtlety of sensation along your hip adductors, your inner thighs. And breathe in any comfortable way, right? You can belly breathe. You can 4-part breathe. You can just let the body more or less breathe itself. Come to a nice quiet cadence. Maybe switch the cross of your arms. We'll take another minute or so here. And let's just let the arms go. Let the arms come down by your sides, away from your sides a little bit. Relax the weight of your arms And set your props aside, slide your heels out to the bottom of your mat. And just drop yourself right into Shavasana from here. Or if there's anything else you want to or need to adjust or make ready as far as props or reducing the lighting in your room if you can. Let Shavasana feel as restful as possible. See if you can let the breath resolve itself into the most comfortable, effortless, easeful movement. Imagine the way that you would be breathing if you were sleeping. Let the breath be that soft and quiet. And then from that breath, begin to just slowly deepen and lengthen your next 2 or 3. As if you were just waking up, but you've been here awake and alert and attentive the whole time. Just take a few more kind of awakening, alivening breaths. Extend your arms, stretch your fingers, stretch your palms. Bring your feet up to stand, shift your hips to one side. Rest on your side for another breath. Then shift yourself from your side. Your spine stays soft, the muscles that support your spine, use your arm strength instead to come up. Arms up and over your head, palms together over your head, palms together over your head. Exhale. Palms to your heart. Close your practice here. Honor your time here. Honor the union of body, mind, self, breath, and the gift of your practice. Thank you as always for your time. Until we're here again, namaste. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh, Mr. King Potts.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Melinda. Love to see you.